little bit older.
6 years.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I love that singing bowl, how it continues to sing in its own way. So please stand and body your spirit as we sing our gathering hymn in your great hymnal, Morning Has Broken. That's number 38. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Hillsborough, where we constantly strive to be an open and welcoming congregation to all who seek community and support. We don't worship in one specific way each week, and we don't require that we all adhere to one specific creed or common belief, but rather we're a covenant community, committed to loving and supporting each other in our individual, lifelong quest for truth and meaning in matters of our personal faith. So whoever you are, member, a guest, a friend, someone online, and for whatever reason or purpose has guided you to join us here this morning, either in person or online, we welcome you. In the spirit of welcoming, please turn to your neighbor and wish them a good morning. Good morning. Feels good to say good morning, doesn't it? Just 2 words, but it engenders a lot of energy, vitality, and friendliness. My name is Linda Seligman, and I'm the worship coordinator for today's service. And our theme this month is Living Love Through the Practice of Joy. And as a lay-led congregation, we've got lots of folks, lots of contributors, many people behind the scenes who make these services possible. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And for the RE folks, raise your hands. Our lovely RE folks support our kids' education and ourselves. Thank you very much. Really appreciate everything you do. make this a great place to be. And this is an excellent time to make sure your cell phone's off, turned in worship mode, so it doesn't go off at inconvenient moments. And then after we finish our service, we will have coffee and tea in the back of the sanctuary. And if you're new, please be sure to have a cup of coffee so we can get to know you. And before we create our time of worship, let's take a moment to share some important announcements. Your announcements are on the back of your order of service, but I think there are probably a couple more. You, how about you?
You're looking at me. Okay. Hi, I'm Alicia. After the service today, our speaker today is from Blind Spot Animal Sanctuary, and after the service we will be having a field trip up to Blind Spot to spend time with the animals there. And if you we have 19 people RSVP'd to go to that field trip, but if you want to go and you haven't RSVP'd, that's also still okay. I have waiver forms here. You can get them from me, and then we will probably try to meet around quarter of parking lot to arrange if people want to do carpooling or not. It's about 25 minutes away, and with the aim to leave here by noon. Thanks.
Can we get there later? Is that all right?
Is that all right?
Unfortunately, no, you're gonna need to go as a group.
Oh.
Because just due to, we have volunteers there that will lead you around and they're supervised. And I also must say, if any children are going, they must remain with their parents at all times.
All right. If you have any other questions, ask me or ask Wendy.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lori. The second announcement suddenly. I was planning to go to that, but I was also, gonna clean up after coffee hour. If somebody's not going and you're willing to do the cleanup, please let me know, and you can do it. Thank you very much. Okay. So also, this is a reminder that I collect packing material that can be reused by this business who does this home business or something. And there's a garbage can in the back, one of those large garbage cans in the back by the back door. And so you take air pockets, brown paper, what are those other things? Bubble wrap, no styrofoam, no packaging, boxes, no cardboard, just those three things I said. And they must be clean because they're going to go to customers. So, and if you have a whole bunch, let me know and we'll just take it right from your car to my car. Thank you.
Good morning all. I'm G for Justice, and I'm here just to remind you that tomorrow night is the Justice meeting. It will be on Zoom, so if you need those details, please email Justice Justice, what the heck is
Justice at UUC.
Yeah, I don't know what that MC goes, yeah. It's on the bottom there. Tomorrow we'll be discussing how to approach our ideas for the little free pantry we want to create here, whether that's going to work, how it can work, all sort of stuff. It's the initial first sort of talk about it. And so if you have any input or concerns, anything, this is where you speak up, this is where you speak to us in concert. This is where you make yourself heard. If you want to be involved at all, just come along. If not, you miss out. I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's going through your minds about this whole thing, so I need to know. So yeah, it's super important if you want to be involved in this project. The other thing I would like to announce is that next Saturday is our board game night. It's going to be on Saturdays from now on, so you can get a week notice in advance. Rather than it's on the day. So if you want to play board games, let me know, or Aurora if you find her, and we'll give you the details for that as well. Alright guys.
Hi guys, I'm Kim. I'm the moderator here at UUCH. And I want to give a shout out to Gabby and to Amy because we just launched the pledge drive for the next, I know, it's starting for you guys, but we've been working on it, for the next budgetary year. So you all, anybody that's a member or a pledging friend, you should have received an email with the pledge letter. We're going to be following that up with some mailed ones, and we would love to have in-person conversations with each and every one of you. We're a very small group of volunteers, so we may not succeed in having conversations with each and every one of you, but like, I really do want to talk to all of you guys about like why you love UUCH and what brings you here, what energizes you. We've done so many fantastic things over the last year. There's so much positive energy and momentum in this wonderful congregation. And I'm really excited about our plans for the next year. And we can only do all of that with everybody's support. So if you have any questions about the pledge process, how to update your pledge, does your pledge carry over from the previous year? Yeah.
What's a pledge, Kim?
A pledge is your commitment to financially support this congregation. It can be automatically pulled from your paycheck, or it can come out of like your 401k if you're retired, or various other ways. It can be like monthly, it can be an annual contribution, but it's just your way of saying, hey, I promise that I'm going to support in this way. And that's how UUCH can plan ahead and budget for things like, you know, the lights or replacing the computer in the office that is like very slowly dying a painful death.
Make the back area usable so that we can have fun back there.
And getting this hazardous trees out of our beautiful forest area so that we can use that space again. So I don't remember where I was before that, but what do you mean?
I said sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. That was a really important point, and I appreciate it. Anyway, so if you can't find that in your email, there's going to be links in the newsletter. Worst case scenario, go to the website, go to support, and there's like a great big link right there to update your pledge form. Yes.
Has that been changed from 24-25 to 25-26?
It has. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
And we kindly and gently ask that you do so before May 31st so that GovCo will have time to reconcile all of our pledges with our aspirational budget, and we can have something ready to present at the community of the whole meeting at the end of July, which, by the way, mark your calendars, it's going to be July 29th. June, that one, June 29th, right after service. So we'll provide like snacks and refreshments, and then we'll have a cow. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, everybody. So if there are no more announcements, last chance? No? Okay. Let's prepare ourselves for our time together. And our chalice reading is, and by the way, Emmett is going to be lighting the chalice. Yeah, come on up, Emmett. And while you're lighting the chalice, I'll do the reading. All Animals Are Our Relatives by Florence Caplow. We light this chalice in honor of the animal realm, furred and hooved, two-legged, four-legged. Just go ahead and blow it out. There you go. Three's a charm. There you go. I'll just start that again. We light this chalice in honor of the animal realm, furred and hooved, two-legged, four-legged, many-legged, fanged and clawed, gentle and fierce, wild and tame. May remember that all animals are our relatives, worthy of our care and our respect. And I'd like you to briefly welcome Wendy Skwirsk. I'll be telling you more about her before her homily. And Wendy will tell us about the mission of Blind Spot Animal Sanctuary and the importance of our coexistence with animals. But first, our opening reading, and Wendy will give us her opening read.
Good morning. Good morning. Blessed are all living things by Maureen Killoran. For the blessing of animal companions we give thanks, for the beautiful ones, those whose fur is silky and whose tails are long, whose feathers are brilliant, whose voices are splendid, we give thanks. For the frantic ones, the runts, and the hungry who run for a food bowl, or pat us as though this life's their last possible gift, we give thanks. For the obnoxious ones, the heads that butt against us as we're trying to sleep, the bodies that refuse to learn discretion as they make digestive gifts, we give thanks. For those who bark and purr and growl and mew, for all those who squeak or squawk or snarl or hiss, we give thanks. For the animals unknown to us, for those whose niche in life's web is fragile, whose lives are insecure, for all of those who care for them and wish them well, we give thanks. Blessed are the animals. Blessed are the creatures who live with us and bear our care. Blessed are the mammals and the reptiles and the birds who teach us we are not alone. Blessed are all living things from whom we learn. Thank you.
Now please rise and body your spirit as we sing our opening hymn, The Lone Wild Bird, number 15. Ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a caring community where our joys are celebrated, and a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. So each Sunday we take some time to reflect on the special happenings that have occurred this week amongst our members and friends, and some will choose to share aloud while others will choose to remain silent. And here we make room for both. And if you'd like to speak to someone on our care team, please contact Patty O'Connor. I don't think she's here today, but you can reach her via email.
It might be somebody else.
You can contact me, I'm Jenny, but you can just contact care team at UCHNC.
It's not just me.
Yeah, so help is available, support is available. And for those of you who'd like to share aloud, please take a moment before we begin to center yourself, collect your thoughts so that what you shared this morning is personal, heartfelt, and brief. And so now please come forward, tell us your name, and share what's in your heart. And when you're finished, you may release a stone into our vase on hold all these things within the heart of this community, both spoken and unspoken. And by remaining silent for a moment, let us consider what has been shared and how we might respond. And let us close together with Amen and blessed be. Amen. Let's have an update from the RE folks. What's happening with RE?
So today we'll be learning about caring for our planet Earth and a little bit about pigs. I think I hear that there's somebody in the early room, which means Annabelle is in the early room, which means I would love a volunteer to help with the elementary.
I will help.
Thank you.
Thank you. Takes a village. Now let us sing our beloved children to class with the children's blessing located inside the back cover of your great hymnal. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Wendy Skwirsk. A lifelong advocate for animals, she brings over 35 years of life-affirming experience to her mission of inspiring moral consideration and respect towards animals. Originally from Michigan, Wendy dedicated much of her early efforts to dog rescue. But it wasn't until relocating to Raleigh, North Carolina, that her focus shifted in a profound way. Shocked and dismayed by the lack of funding and resources for local county shelters, Wendy sought new ways to be involved. A chance outing to the Special Needs Children's Day at the Blind Spot Animal Sanctuary allowed her to tour the facility, and what began as a fun outing became so much more. She was deeply moved by the stories of the sanctuary's rescued animals and appalled at the lack of protection offered to farm animals. From that October day forward, Wendy's path was clear. She began volunteering weekly at the sanctuary and soon after embraced a vegan lifestyle. Today, Wendy is a powerful voice for farmed animals, working to raise awareness, promote empathy, and inspire positive action through education, advocacy, and her own enthusiastic commitment to making the world better. And guess what? We will be taking an all-ages field trip directly after the service to Blind Spot Animal Sanctuary to read to and socialize with the animals. And so we welcome Wendy.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so thrilled to have this opportunity to share some information about the Blind Spot with you. As was mentioned, I went on an educational tour, which we offer. Blind Spot Animal Sanctuary is not a petting zoo. It's a sanctuary and refuge for farmed animals. This is where animals are living out their best life. They have no purpose other than to be the creatures that they are. Blind Spot was founded over 15 years ago by our founders. What started off with them as well, they went and rescued a dog. They had no idea what the future held for them. Blind Spot, we couldn't do what we do without our volunteers. We are 100% donation funded, 100% volunteer ran. We have no paid staff. The majority of our animals come to us from the rural county shelters. what's very sad here in the state of North Carolina is farmed animals, which are sentient beings, just like we look at our dogs and cats as pets, and we as their guardians. Farmed animals are looked at as commodities. They're put on stray hold. After that, they are auctioned off. It's very bleak. So at Blind Spot, we're advocating to make changes in not only our government, but in our culture and how we look at animals. I speak on behalf of Blind Spot for farmed animals here, but also like to remind everyone, let's look at all of the animals that we share the planet with. Things that we may find fearful, spiders, snakes. I'd like to take this opportunity. It was a great time. I had a fear of snakes. I took the opportunity and learned about them. I now look forward to seeing them. Ironically, my husband, petrified. Breakthrough this week. He calmly came into the house. We had a copperhead right at the entrance of the garage. He calmly came into the house and got me, rather than his first instinct would be to do the worst, which would scare him even more. But what was really nice is I was able to show him how to calmly get it to move along its way, and it gave him a newfound confidence. These animals, again, are so important to us. I find it very healing when I get to interact with these animals. They are so resilient to when the stories and the horrors that they come from. And we work with them and socialize with them to see that how quickly it's in the rearview mirror. And they're running around our 41 acres as if they've always been there and always owned the place. We all share the planet. That is my message. Anyone who's going to go to Blind Spot, you're going to see how I became inspired over 6 years ago. As I mentioned, I went out on a tour. I thought, oh, this will be a fun day. Go see some cute farm animals. And then I learned their story. I went back stories with others or share, my journey to a vegan lifestyle, why I did it. I had to think, how can I advocate for these animals and still eat them? Again, that's a very, very personal choice. It's not for everybody. It's my choice. But if I can help somebody lead that way, or even just showing them that there's other choices, it leaves less of a footprint. At this time, I would be happy to take any questions that anybody has. Yes, sir.
Do you take roosters?
We do not take owner surrenders. All of our animals actually the shelters keep us pretty busy, so we don't take owner surrenders. However, you can contact Blind Spot and they will put you in touch with resources that may be able to assist you.
Who's the most interesting resident?
We have so many. We have over 150 farmed animals there. Of that 150, 99 of them are pigs. These are pot-bellied pigs to full-on hog pigs. The majority of them are what are considered a pot-bellied pig or a mini pig, which are myths. A mini pig is any pig that is under 300 pounds. Sadly, we have a pig crisis that is unraveling, and it's the greed of breeders selling these little mini pigs, because what they do is pigs can reproduce at 10 to 13 weeks of age, and what they do is they will take a young piglet and present that as a parent, when it's not. It's a piglet, but it also could be a parent at the same time. Upon arrival, all of our animals are all completely bedded, and they are all altered as they need to be. Our most interesting, our founding pig is Kevin, but anyone that's going to go, I think our most animated and most loved resident is Dozer. And Dozer is still a baby, and Dozer probably comes up to about right here, and he's 800 pounds. He came to us from the Johnston County shelter. He was a stray, and We immediately went and got him. Upon going to the shelter, we learned that he had a brother. Sadly, his brother didn't have the same outcome as Dozer. But what's so funny about him being 800 pounds, and as I mentioned, he's about this tall, and his ears are about this big. And this pig thinks he's a 5-pound lap Yorkie. Again, you guys are going to find that when you go. Also, interestingly enough, we have 4 emus. 2 of our emus are very, very famous and have been featured on the local news several times while they were on the run until we captured them. Of the emus, all 3 are females and we only have 1 male. Doug, who we thought was a male, found out was a female. There's no way, they don't have any physical characteristics that would tell you that they are male or female. So they would have to be surgically sexed. The only reason we can tell that there's a female is a female makes a drumming sound. And it literally is like a big bass drum. What you think you're in a parade walking up behind you. And when you tour our pigs that are closest to, that reside in our barn area, we have 2 barn areas. As I mentioned, we're on 41 acres. All of our pigs have their own communities. They all have houses that are heated and cooled. They're herd animals. So what they do is they select their herd. And they're very, very, very close-knit. These animals know loss. I've seen that firsthand. But the ones that are at the barn, they are the most friendliest because they're around people the most. But all of our animals are all very friendly. You're going to be able to interact with them. Just let them come up to you. We never force interaction of our animals. Again, you're going to be on their sanctuary. It's their sanctuary, it belongs to them. We're just there to take care of their needs and advocate for them.
Why would a farmer take one of his pigs to a shelter?
These are ones that are roaming. They're not, occasionally some will send them to the shelter, but it's not usually voluntarily where they're taken. It's due to reports of abuse and neglect, but it's still even very hard with our laws here for animal control to interact on that. So they're not being voluntarily. Again, there's the rare occasion that they are, and those typically are the pot-bellied pigs that they'll surrender them to the shelter, but most shelters don't have the capacity or the means to even take care of them. So in a lot of cases, they're turned away. But as far as our full-on hogs, typically they are ones that fell off a transport truck, or yes, we have several. A lot of our Cornish hens that we have there, those were Cornish hens that fell off a transport truck. As a matter of fact, 2 of our full-on hogs fell off a transport truck. Either they fell off or they made a jump for it, or that it's just that they're roaming. Perfect example, just here in this past month alone from Granville County, we have taken in 2 sheep and 1 goat that were strays, just wandering, nobody looking for them. I'm happy to report, though, that of the two goats, they already have adoptive homes. They won't go to those homes until they've been completely vetted and been altered. They're not in a position to do that right now. They need a couple more weeks, and then after that, they have an adopted home. Yes?
Okay, so that answers one of my questions, is do you guys adopt out to well-vetted, well-intentioned people?
Absolutely. Most of our animals that are any animal that is adoptable will adopt out. Of course, we have ones that come in with very special needs. There is an adoption process. We actually go on site and tour the home. We make sure wherever you reside that farmed animals are permitted there. And this is a lifelong commitment. We do have a few residents that were previously adopted out from Blind Spot, and for one reason or another, the owners couldn't keep them. We take them back. We don't just say, hey, you're on your own. And this is after several years. These are extenuating circumstances. A lot goes into the adoption process. as far as pigs, goats, anything that we adopt out, they always have to be in a pair. So if someone came to us and said, I want one pig. Okay, if you've got a pig at home, that's fine, it needs a friend, but you're not leaving with one pig, and you're not leaving, because again, these are herd animals, and it's most important for pigs because they form such strong bonds, and that's a part of the crisis too with the pet pig population that we do have, is people are doing just one, and they become highly destructive, they become very depressed, because there's one, and a breeder selling that isn't there to educate you, they don't care about that pig's long-term health. So sadly, they end up in these situations. But yes, we definitely adopt out. I mean, the thing is, ideally, we want to adopt out every single one we bring in, because every time there's an adoption, that leaves an open room and an open bed for somebody else in need.
Do you guys also have like small animals, like rabbits?
No, it's strictly, I'll give you a rundown. We don't have any. We do have, ironically though, we do have chickens, we have guinea hens. We have ducks. And what started off as 2 ducks is now many ducks. Because unfortunately you can't alter birds. And we had 2 ducks that show up. And while we worked tirelessly in our clean, because all of these pens are broken down and cleaned every single day, we know to be on the lookout for eggs to make sure that they are not being fertilized. But they can get pretty crafty. So now we have several ducks, but unfortunately there's nothing you can do with that situation. And ironically, what started off with the 2 females, I mean, they fly elsewhere. So we had no idea the comings and goings, and it is what it is. And
illicit duck affairs.
Yes. If you need to look us up and follow us online, because our founder really tells great, engaging stories about our residents, and it makes it really, really fun. Yeah, one of the 2 ducks, she's a wanderer. She'll take off for a month at a time. We have no idea where she is, and then she walks back in as if she owns the place. But as I mentioned, we have the majority of the animals that we have are pigs. We have sheep, goats, rams, mules, horses, many donkeys, turkeys, cocks, peahens.
I'm not going to monopolize this question time, but I would like to talk to you later about taking some refuse off of your hands for my garden.
Okay, ideally, that would be a conversation to have with our founder, so I'll direct you to our website. Our biggest thing is our animals are going out to be adopted into loving homes, not to a home to have a job. We constantly, one of the new fads is people getting goats and pygmy goats, and it's like, I get a goat and that's free lawn care. No, it's not. And none of our...
I just want their poop. That's all I want. Yeah.
Yes, we got you. I just wanted to make that clear, because we do get a lot of calls for that now, because again, that's, for the longest time it was the pig fat. Now it's the goat fat, and people seeing the little baby goats that grow into big goats and being, marketed as pygmy goats, or again, that it's free yard care. No, and a goat's a lot of work, and you'd be far better off getting the most expensive lawn care service you can, because the amount of care that goes into caring for a goat.
I saw a story in the news maybe a few months ago about a particular goat who was at a hiking area. Do you guys have that goat?
No, this is a great story. I'm so glad you brought up Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio.
So,
yes, it's Fabio.
Again, we've got great partnerships with our local rural shelters, and Durham contacted us because he was roaming. I think it was the Tobacco Road campus. Yeah. And they said, if we get him, we bring him here? And we said, of course, and we told them how to, safely capture him. So animal control officers learned all this stuff, and he's got his rope, and he's ready to go, and he's got the halter. So jokingly, he says, he looks at Fabio, He says, come on, go. Fabio just comes running up and runs right in the trailer. Turns out, the reason Fabio was at that area is his owner lived close by, and his owner actually walked him on those trails. This is the rare stories and the good stories, though. So thank you so much for asking. Fabio had a wonderful owner who loved him. What had happened is he was out of town traveling, and the people that he had looking after, and that's not his name, we named him Fabio. He has a name I can't pronounce, but he'll always be Fabio to us. Didn't secure him properly, and that's how he got out. And we only had Fabio for a little over a day. So as soon as he got home, found out that his goat was missing, he was Johnny on the spot, came back. You know, there's a fee he had to pay to the sheriff's office to reclaim him. He was not neutered, so when he came to Blind Spot to pick it up, with the proper vehicle to pick up his goat as well, he didn't just show up in a car. We explained to him the importance of neutering, and if he was not financially able to do so, we would, offer assistance to him. But no, he had a very, very loving owner. We also, schooled him a little bit on you really need to have a friend for him. But before his owner came forward, we had already pretty much made a home for him at Blind Spot, and we're already, dreading getting through the stray hold, and oh no, we've got another auction we've got to go through, because he was all over the place. He was an internet sensation in this area, and very unique looking goat, but oh so friendly. But his owner really did love him, and again, that's so rare that we see that. But I mean, this guy was there the next day. I mean, he didn't walk, he ran. So no, he's back with his owner, but he left an imprint on all of us. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. That was very interesting. I love the stories.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah, I can imagine. So at this time each Sunday, we take up a monetary offering to support our social justice work in our Orange County communities. And this month, our plate offering goes to Orange Congregations and Mission, OCAM. So please donate by placing cash or checks in the offering basket. And if I check, please write plate. You can also go to our website, hit the QR code. So thank you very much for your generosity. was beautiful. But please join me in our prayer of collective gratitude found in your order of service. For the love that surrounds us every morning, for the friends beside us, and for the generous gifts just received. Let us be truly grateful. And now for our closing hymn, please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn. We celebrate the Web of Life, number 175.
May the love that gives to life its beauty, by George Brooks. May the love that gives to life its beauty, the reverence that gives to life its sacredness, and the purposes that give to life its deep significance be strong within each of us and lead us into whatever deepening relationships with all of life.
Please join me as we extinguish our sacred UU flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace, my friends, and blessed be.